I want to ask this question. No Maddison. How concerned should we be? Now, the premise of this question is, just to give it context, is everyone keeps talking about, who's the most valuable player at Spurs? Who can you afford to lose the most? People keep, Son or Van de Ven or Romero or Vicario. For me, it's none of those. It's this guy. I truly believe we have a system that is built upon this man's creativity, this man's ability to pass, this man's ability to assist, and his ability to drive with the ball into dangerous areas and create. How big a miss is this going to be? Because we have no one in the squad that can come in and play that role in his absence. I know people want to force players in there, Perchy. Like, Kulu can do it. We've got no proof of that. How big a miss is he going to be for the next 9 games minimum?
Catastrophic miss. It's horrendous. I don't want people to think it's doom and gloom, but I think yesterday was the benchmark, by the way. And in the space of the next 5-6 games, probably in air quotes, the easiest one of the games to come along. And without him, we look toothless. How many times have we said, when James Maddison gets subbed off the pitch, what happens? We don't look like we're going to score goals. When Maddison's on the pitch, everything, as you said, everything goes through him. And the thing is we're not without him for a week or two. We're without him with at least 2 months. Yeah. And
he's everything, isn't he, Perchy? I mean, he is everything. He is everything. I take it, right? Don't get me wrong. People in the chat, and now obviously this is why we do these shows. They're starting to say, well, hang on, Son would only score, without Son's goals. I acknowledge that. But I've seen Son and Kane down the years still manage to score goals where we haven't had a Maddison. What I've not seen Spurs be able to do is create loads without a Maddison type. I feel like we've gone back a year. I truly feel like we've gone backwards a year, and we're going to be this team now that are just going to hit people on the break. And Jay, sorry, do you need to jump?
Yeah, I do need to jump. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, guys. Obviously, it's funny because you guys. It's funny because when I actually listen to you all, I'm always like, these guys negative, or you get little snapshots of you. I'm like, actually,
you get snapshots of us. Does that mean we made it?
Maybe I'm the villain. Maybe I'm the villain of this story, and you guys are actually the heroes. Do
you know what it is, Jay?
Maybe I'm the Homelander.
People don't like that. If I ask a question, they always believe that means that is my one true opinion. If I ask a question to Stel right now, it could be that I don't agree with it, but I'm positioning it to him as, let's create some debate. Let's have a conversation. But people in chats just go, you're negative. You and Stel, you're negative.
I think as soon as you say Levy out, you're just automatically tarnished with, you hate the club. You hate the club. It's like,
that's fair. That's fair. You guys. To be fair, and I think the rational point is there's different personality traits that all fans have. Some people are more positive, some people are more analytical. Shouts to Will Stewart. Some fans are more Stel, you pretty straight talking, and obviously if you come with a certain methodology and mindset, I think we all here on the panel can say that we understand that it's going to be ups and downs, and there's a lot.
Don't make me like a Levy enough.
He's doing it again.
Hey, look, I'm Levy neutral. I'm Levy neutral. He's all right. You know what I mean? I was doing so well. And on that note, I'll leave before I get.
Yeah, Jay,
absolute pleasure, Jay.
But
and you're always welcome back, mate. Thank you. Listen, it's healthy.
I'll have to take you up on that. Much appreciated, guys.
Always, man. Take care, mate. See you later. Yeah, I mean, Perchy, to go back to it, I don't know if you can put us to a 3. That would be amazing. Look, Perchy, sorry, Will was right. I said a minimum of 9 games. I'm purely going from Postecoglou saying that we won't see him until January. I was just going with that number of games. But again, they put some stats up yesterday on the screen of Tottenham with and without James Maddison, and throughout every game this season as to when he's come off. and it was so damning. Like, it was unreal, Perchy. The number of shots, the number of touches in the opposition box goes down, the number of chances, the number of everything offensively goes down when that man is not on the football pitch. So we've kind of got the cure and the cause in James Maddison, right? To be cheesy about it, we have, because when we've got him fit, one of the best players in the league and what he does. When he's not fit, I don't know how we play without him.
But do you know what? This is the worry for me, and I stand by it. I said it all along, and I said it when we talk about, and people want to put in other players, but I genuinely sit back and go, the drop off with Maddison and anyone else in the club for creativity is like that. You could argue with others, the drop off. There's drop offs elsewhere. For me, James Maddison. No, I'm not going to say it. But James Maddison.
Say it. Put balls on the line. Be brave.
Okay, I think James Maddison is the closest player to world class we have in our football team. He's not. I don't think he is yet, but he's the closest to it.
I hear
because what that man does on a football pitch, for us is everything. And I always use this statement. I'm going to get it on a t-shirt. Everything good that happens with Tottenham right now is because of James Maddison, and I say it every week. When he does something, you go, how has that man done that? Wow. What a ball. What a delivery in the box. This, that, the other, right? Like, and we saw it. We saw it yesterday when he wasn't on the pitch. When he wasn't on the pitch yesterday, I went, there's nothing. We basically went back to the let's launch it long and hope Kulusevski, who hasn't got a lot of pace, can chase down a fullback he got bullied on that specific front. And do you know what? And it was there was a massive debate in a WhatsApp. But last night was brilliant. But the one thing I will say, I think.
Oh, I was drunk.
You were. It made.
So was Spurs.
Yeah.
But without Maddison, I think it made Son not in the. He wasn't. I didn't feel he was in the game at all, and Son missed him massively. Like massively, I thought without Maddison, I didn't see Son really go. Do you know what? Push on. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
we had no one to unpick the pass.
Absolutely. By the way, look, Will Stewart, of course, dude. You're more than welcome to jump on if you've got some free time, mate. You're more than welcome. Just while I'm doing this next link, if Perchy could send you the link, if you are free, of course, not to say stop doing what you're doing and join us. Still, James Maddison. Yeah, I mean, look, listen, those players don't grow on trees. Number 10s, playmakers, creative types don't grow on trees. It's very, very difficult to find one. We found one for 40 million. Do you think we need to buy in the next couple of windows an up and coming young creative talent that would be happy with lesser minutes? What's the option here? Or do you think we've got to give Lo Celso a go and hope that he can rise to the occasion?
Well, short term, we've got to give Lo Celso a chance because there's no option. There's no transfer window till January, and I don't see us spending big money on a top player in January anyway. Long term, depending how Lo Celso goes, let's assume that it doesn't quite work out. You need another Maddison or someone just below that level of Maddison. Like Perchy says, how other fans tell you, but we have injuries as well. There's a drop off for everyone. Not quite, because we finished 7th under Jose, and we needed a replacement for Eriksen. We never did it. Last season we finished 8th. And we needed a replacement for Eriksen. We never got it. And now we've got it. We've lost it. So we're back to that 8th level. So the drop-off for us will always be massive because we badly needed a defender. We badly needed a left back. We badly needed an attacking mid. And we badly needed someone to replace Victor Wanyama, Moussa Dembele. We badly needed a replacement for Kane. Yeah. We got most of them, and they're all out. That means we've gone back to what we were last year, which is 8th. And that's what you saw yesterday. That was an 8th team performance. So the drop-off is massive for us because look at the starting point. It's all right if you're, I don't know, Arsenal, who finished 2nd, and you lose 3 good players. Well, the drop-off you what? To stay in the top 4? Well, for us, it's look, we started from a much worse position. So it is a big deal for us.
Yeah. It's just interesting, isn't it? Like
losing Maddison is a disaster, man. It's an absolute.
Yeah,
we waited 4
massively.
years for that replacement. 4 years we've waited. It's gone wrong.
And the thing is,
Yeah.
as well, Perchy, look, to round off some conversation about James Maddison, is I think all week everyone's been second guessing, like the back. Basically everything that has been content and what we've all been guessing as Spurs fans, Spurs YouTubers, has been who's going to play centre back, who's going to play instead of Maddison, and then in the end it was just all really disappointing in all areas, right? It was like, oh, Darren Davis, oh, Højbjerg. Do you know what I mean? It was like I would have just liked to have seen something, even if it was giving Kulu some game time in the middle of the park. Even if that was it, and then Brian Hill plays or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I would just something. But I think when you set up with those three midfielders that we did, you're almost saying we're not going to try and break you down because we don't have anything to break you down. And that's why we had. Do you know how many shots we had yesterday? Do you know how many shots we had on target?
Six or something like that.
On target. How many?
On target.
Two or three.
One or two. Yeah, Lo Celso
Three.
had one.
Right.
Yeah, Lo Celso had
Three.
one.
Lo Celso in like the 80 whatever minute that was.
Yeah.
Johnson the goal, and it was a header by Ben Davis.
By the way,
yeah.
I thought Brian Hill yesterday was really, really average, and I don't see this player working at Spurs. By the way, I know we haven't seen enough. I don't see it. I think he's too flimsy. I think he's far too flimsy for Premier League football.
I can probably agree with you on a certain extent on that. Yeah, I think he came up, but I always will give a caveat in the sense of I haven't seen this kid play. Right? We haven't. Well, I get you. I agree with you to the extent of it, but we haven't seen this lad play. He hasn't played any football for us.
Doesn't that answer it? Doesn't that answer it then?
I agree. No, you got a point there, but
Richie got injured. And straight away, Johnson comes in. Brian Hill completely overlooked.
But I would expect Johnson to go in, though. I would, in the pecking order, if you want to call it the pecking order, I would think Johnson's way Brian Hill, though.
But exactly. So because he's low in the pecking order, that means they don't really regard him as a starter. And that if you aren't challenging for the starting position, you shouldn't be at the club. How has he been in there?
This is his third season.
Let's be frank and honest.
What are we waiting for?
Hang on.
3 years.
Are we going down this road again? Like, is this like Ndombele? Is this like Lo Celso, where 5 years down the line we're all sitting there going, well, no manager's picked him. Like,
I'll be with the likes of Brian Hill. I'll be frank and honest. I mean, he's so far down the pecking order. Let's be honest with it. He's below Manor Solomon, Perisic, Johnson, Kulusevski,
Richarlison.
If you're below Richarlison, right? If you're below Richarlison, you should hand in a resignation letter. If you are below Richarlison, you should just quit. That is some doing to be below Richarlison.
Yeah, look. By the way, can I just say, I see so many comments, not like Will's picking up dinner. I see so many comments that are like this one, right? And big up to you, Chris. Thanks for putting it in. Can I just say, when YouTubers have this conversation, we're all fully aware that it's a build and it's going to take years. But if we literally went by this point, we'd never have any talking points, mate. If we literally just said after every game, you know what? Don't worry about it. Ange's great. Team's great. It's going to take 3 years. We may as well all shut all of our shows each week on YouTube. There'd be nothing to talk about.
No, we do a 2 hour sit-in and just say one question and go, oh, it's all great. And we sit here for 2 hours straight.
Exactly. I mean, look, guys, it's strange. It is strange. I thought the team selection for me, I felt was... Yeah, it was. It was like when I put that team selection on, I did think, oh my God, we're a year ago. Like, and I know a lot of that is not Postecoglou's fault. But I do feel like I would have liked to have seen just a few bits there that made me go, okay, cool. But at least we're seeing but that's just me. Look, I want to move on to the next point. Unless you've got something else you want to add, Perch?
Oh, I was just going to say, the one thing I would have said, even if we accepted that was how we started, right? That was how we started. I think the one thing, again, I was slightly disappointed on. I think, first off, I'll be honest, I think apart from the first 4 or 5 minutes, I thought we were crap. And I think I'll be honest. I kind of wanted him to go and just change it up a bit. I think I mentioned on stream, actually, I said, do you know what? Why don't we gamble a little? I say gamble is the wrong word, but change it in a bit. Like, little, they're pressing high on us, Wolves. Let's try and get an outboard. Let's bring someone like a Valise on. Give him half an hour, 25 minutes or something. He's a big boy. Look, let's just, if we need to for a little bit, we can play it an outboard to him and just relieve a little bit of pressure. Because I think at the period in that second half, in that sort of between the 60th minute and the sort of 80th minute, I felt that Wolves all over us, by the way, at that point. I thought Wolves had got into gear, kicked in, and if they had a goal scorer, and I feel like I say this every week when we play teams, if they had a goal scorer, they would have we would have been 2 or 3-1 down before we even got to 90 minutes. And I just thought, you know what, like, we've got these lads like a Valise, we've spent good money on this kid, not loads, but we spent good money on this kid. Like, are we sitting there saying he's not good enough whilst we're struggling at the moment against Wolves to not even just be an outboard for us? I think, for me, that worries me that we go, is he just now our bench filler and when we need it?
But this is my point about both positions. So I'll bring you. This is my point. Is like when we're talking about everything wasn't going to be done in one window. Let's move on to the next point because it is about transfers. Okay, so and I'll come back to this point in a second. So question is, it's nice and simple. It's Levy. It's Stell's favorite person in the world. It's Daniel Levy. Look. This is the problem. When people say things like, yeah, this is a build, it's going to take time. Of course, I've been saying that as much as everybody else, right? I didn't think it was ever going to be this brilliant season. I think we're going to be in Europe next year. What type of Europe, we don't know. But the frustrating thing for me with that is when people say still, I'm seeing people say, you know, the window was absolutely fantastic. Now, Vicario, great so far. Maddison, great so far. Van der Ven, great so far. When I look at the rest of it,